Okay, hello and welcome back to Let's Talk English. And I'm so happy because this is my second day in a consecutive series to do the live. Now, today's live is going to be about PTE reading, fill in the blanks, Dropdown. Why am I so excited? Is because this question type uh, Yeah. So, oh my God, I'm so nervous, right? So, technically, see, this is a very, very important question. Let me take you to my screen and an actual official PTE document from where I can tell you how important it is. Once I tell you that, I'll tell you how many questions come. Then I'll brief you on the strategy on how you should be doing it. And after that, we will be doing some questions together. So, if you are preparing for your PTE test, today you're going to enjoy it because I'm going to break one myth and give you one strategy that will help you get all the questions every time correct. So let's get started. Okay, here we are. I guess that's okay. Yes, so if we talk about PTE reading, fill in the blanks, drop down. This is the very first question type that you're going to get, first of all, right? You're going to get 5 to 6 questions of this, and it contributes 25 marks into the reading module, which means that it is the highest score contributing question that is contributing 25% to the reading section overall. And if you talk about the whole PT test, its contribution is at 7%. Additionally, I don't feel it stops here. Why? Because if you look at this question, fill in the blanks, drop down, drag and drop, this alone holds 20% to the reading module and 6% to your overall PT test. So if you take, because listen to me, the total contribution here becomes 15%, right? I understand that these questions do not contribute to any other module, but that's fine. We have to understand that this in itself is very important. And if this is not going right for you, it will be very hard to clear your PT test in one go and fly to whichever country you want, right? So hear me out, very important, highly important, and the same skill is being used in 2 question types altogether, right? Okay, this link I will be providing you in the description as well as this scoring contribution sheet, and this is with effect from 7th August 2025. So it's as per the new updates. How many questions do you get asked? 5 to 6. Let's move to the yes. If you want to review whatever we've discussed in the session, I will link this academic PTE Academic Guidebook for you also, in which you have all question types, the formats, the strategies, everything there. Right. So let's begin with your PD questions, and I hope you have a great time. Okay, so I will choose fill in the blanks, and here I will choose unpracticed, right? Our number one question is going to be about housing. Before I start doing all the questions in front of you, let me make it very clear, right? On YouTube, there are content creators / educators who give you a lot of grammatical rules. Is that wrong? I don't think so, because those rules may or may not work for you. But I'm not dismissing this outright, right? But my very small problem is I will be doing 6 questions in front of you, and you, being a judge of what I'm trying to say, yourself see how many questions could you actually solve with grammar rules. What do I mean to say? My whole argument is very simple. This is a vocabulary based question, and you should only treat it like that. Even the grammar rules that are being told to you on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, wherever you are, right? Please understand, even if you learn them, you will not be able to apply them. Even if you are able to apply them, you are not going to get the score that you want, because this is purely based on vocabulary and understanding of the context of the whole question sentence, right? So be very careful and try to develop vocabulary. How many questions should you do of this? You should be doing somewhere around 5 to 6 questions every day. Let's move to our first question, that is housing. The number one mistake that I see candidates making usually is the fact that they don't like to read the full sentence, which is something that we are not going to do here. So let's get started. Housing is a key component of individual and family. In addition to being a place where family and friends can gather, housing is important for a sense of security and see, when I see my full stop, I can stop. But my very humble suggestion here is do not open the drop down until you get the first full sentence. Where does the sentence end? The sentence ends at the full stop. So, security and paucity, I don't know what that means. Prowess means you have proficiency. Privacy, poverty. No, why would someone poor get a house? How can they? Right? So, security and privacy. One aspect of security is the wealth in the homes of owner occupiers. One aspect of security is the wealth in the homes of owner occupiers. To be honest, I'm not able to understand, but let's say one, considerate, no, temporal, no, significant, consistent. Important aspect, crucial aspect. So your answer is going to be significant because that means highly important. The wealth of households as the wealth in the homes of owner occupiers increasing through paying off outstanding home loans or as property value rises. So this is basically saying that whoever owns a house, their wealth will increase as the property prices appreciate, or maybe they're able to pay off their debt, right? So stabilizes, fails, appears. I think the answer is, we said na, appreciate. So the answer should be increases. And lastly, in 2003 to 2004, the primary residence was, on average, the most valuable asset of owner-occupier households. Oh, so basically this is meaning that the landlords stay inside of it, with the net value of owned homes surpassing an average of 55% of the net worth of those households. Okay, resulting in no, it's representation. Depending on no, belonging to no. Belonging we can't use for such things, it doesn't fit here, so our answer would be accounting for. Acha, one very small thing, right? A lot of times I've seen good candidates get into trouble. Why? Because they had chosen something, right? And they by any chance selected something else because the mouse was completely new. The environment is also new. So privacy, yes, significant, yes, increases, yes, and accounting for, yes. Let's hit the submit button. 4 out of 4, all answers correct. A lot of candidates now they ask a question that Kshitij, how many minutes should we spend on each reading, fill in the blanks, drop down or drag and drop question? My answer is very simple. It's just a plain 2 minutes. Now, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you with proper calculation. Okay. So, if you come to the scoring sheet, which by the way I will link, right, you see part 2 reading has approximately 30 minutes on the upper side, 29 minutes on the lower side, and 15 to 20 questions. Out of these, 5 questions are going to be multiple choice reading and multiple choice single. If you lose out these 5 questions because they weigh very less, right, what you're going to be left with is 15 questions of fill in the blanks drop down, fill in the blanks, drag and drop, and reorder. So simple maths, you are there with around 2 minutes per question, out of which some of the questions you'll do very quickly. So even if something takes 2.5, 1.5 minutes, average 2 minutes is more than enough. Okay, so let's now move to the next question, that is about pop art. Should be interesting to read and understand. Pop art was a cultural something that began what, revolution? In the I'm still not opening the drop downs because I am supposed to read the full sentence. In the mid 20th century, mid 20th means around 1950, to everyday life as a source of inspiration. Invention, no. Judgment, no. The most closest synonym to revolution is movement. Okay. To everyday life as a source of inspiration. Turned, turning, has turned. Okay, sorry. Right. The thing is, this is the first blank in a series of blanks that should be answered based on the grammar rules. And here it says pop art was a cultural. So it's showing over a continuous series of time. When you are showing something that for a continuous period of time, you're supposed to use present, past, or whatever continuous. So here it will be turning. American artists often use some kind of subjects from their surroundings, such as beer, bottles, clothing, comic strips, and advertisements to create bold and striking artwork. Similar, no, popular could be familiar. Familiar. See, popular is something like Mr. Shah Rukh Khan. He's popular, but is he familiar to me? No, or maybe yes. Okay, all right. However, pop art in the UK, however, pop art drew heavily from some kind of things that were found in magazines, archives, and mass media culture. I'll go with this first. So, what is similar to? For example, unless, as well as, therefore. No, magazines examples is not archives. No, therefore, okay, as well as. Right, heavily from some kind of inspiration. Comments, imagery, articles, titles. Articles are text, titles are headlines, comments, no. Comments are basically on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. So we will be using imagery as the answer. Let me check. Movement, turning, familiar, imagery as well as. Right. So this should be right mostly. Yes, we've got all our answers right. Please remember, if you're taking upwards of 1 minute and less than 2 minutes, you are in a very safe zone. Here we have to explain, so it's taking a little bit more time, but you understand what the whole context is. Let's move to the third question. So we'll be halfway through. And it's about choice of subjects. The lack of interest among adolescents. Adolescents are kids around 18 years of age, like 15 to 18. School science courses is a complex issue, but some things are particularly critical. What issue? Factors, standards, objects, items. I think the answer should be factors, because these are like conditions, right? Situations. Contemporary students, contemporary means modern students, live in a culture that increasingly emphasizes self-reflection and autonomy. Self-reflection and autonomy is something that a lot of thinkers have done. Aristotle, Plato, Socrates, and the range of subjects they engage with, is deal with, study with, is far broader than in the past. They are range of subjects, they are attached, no, confronted could be. Confronted means to come across, included, compromised, yeah. Shows the way subject. Adolescence is a key period of formation of identity. Ample evidence shows that the way subject choices contributes to one's sense of success, particularly in how they reflect personal, is crucial for young people. Personal identity? Okay, resume is for job, morale, someone else will boost. Right? I hope the OBS did not. My God, I need to do something about these WhatsApp notifications. Personal something. We were looking at identity. So resume, no. Personal status is nothing. So its value related to identity and personality. Specifically, science curricula need to be more clearly demonstrating the career pathway that science can offer, both within scientific fields and in science-related professions, and articulate. Oh, articulate means able to express. What? No, you don't use valuable, meaningful, and rewarding with what. However, is going into the opposite direction, where not contextually right. Why these careers? So my answers are factors, confronted, values, and why. All right, 4 out of 4. See, I'm again and again saying that the point is you need to be more efficient. Understand one thing, right? When you start panicking about time management, what happens? Your brain loses that efficiency. I am saying out of, let's suppose you got 5 questions, right? Total of 20 blanks. If you take time and you get 15 answers right, that's much better even if you lose time. But on the other hand, if you do all 20 without any efficiency and you're only getting 5 or 6 answers right, what does it really help you? No, it doesn't help you. All right, what is this? Bourdieu's theory. In the frame of work of Bourdieu's theory, human society operates through a complex system of classifications where social groups are defined not only by their material resources but also by their cultural capital, forms of knowledge, taste, and practice that are valued by dominant social structures. These patterns of thought shape how individuals view themselves and others. Oh my God, so difficult. Hierarchy of power and organization. Stagnation, no. Organization, no. Conjugation, I don't know the meaning here. Status, power. With power, you use influence and status. The dominant classes, in particular, maintain the status controlling legitimate. Bourdieu's concept of habituous describes guiding their actions that reinforce the total existing structure. Social structure, what? Okay, I'm a little. Authority cannot be the answer. Configuration cannot be the answer. Is it going to be environment or is it going to be system? See, environment also incorporates a lot of natural things, but system only incorporates, if I'm not wrong, bureaucracy, the way wealthy and poor are, you know, living with each other. So my guess is it should be social system, but I won't be surprised if my answer is wrong and it's anything out of environment or configuration. That's my best bet. Bourdieu suggests that the social structure is not merely a reflection of economic power, but also a reflection of intellectual and cultural systems that make it. Something like make, preserve, no. No, 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 no. It cannot be classified. It is not getting into anything, so it's not transcendent. Summarize. Summary is what we do, not the systems do, right? So preserve it. Preserve means to keep intact, to take care, to, like the mummies in the pyramids of Egypt, great pyramids of Egypt, are being preserved. Okay. The task, therefore, is to recognize how these classifications function to legitimize power and to question the hierarchical system that serves to the status of those on the margins. I don't know why I think, but legitimize power means to do something right with the power, so it cannot be elevate hierarchical systems and serve to. So if it's not elevate, it cannot be enhanced, it cannot be strengthened, because that goes opposite to the context. So therefore our answer will be reduce. Status, system, preserve, reduce. Okay, shall we submit? Yes, that's right. Okay, next question. It's about King Arthur. It was a great read. If I'm not, I think I've watched 1 or 2 movies also about King Arthur. Little is known about the figure inspired the story of King Arthur. When Arthurian legends have been part of Western literature for centuries, the historical reality of King Arthur remains shrouded in what? Mystery. No, it's a mystery, no? So it's not very clear. So it cannot be clarity, it cannot be precision, it cannot be certainty. Certainty and precision, so 10,000% are not the answers. So I don't know exactly the meaning of obscurity, but it somehow relates to mystery. When things are not clear, they are rare, right? So I would choose obscurity because little is known about the figure. That's why. However, concrete evidence linking Arthur to a specific historical figure is, if there is lack of clarity, so it cannot be plentiful, it cannot be sufficient, it can be either lacking or absent. Ab dekho, absent basically is zero, totally zero. I don't think, because it says little is known. So for little, the answer would be lacking. We are going contextual. out of, I think we are on the fifth question, right? And even if we've done 4 blanks per question, 20, we've only found one of that the answer I could get based on grammar. You remember turning, right? Okay. Aurelian poems are filled with references to heroic warriors and soldiers, which may have been inspired figures tumultuous period of post-Roman Britain. Okay, so something that goes with warriors. No gardens, warriors no match, treasures no match, songs no match, battles. Okay. Aurelian's work might have contributed to the development of legend of a warrior king who defends his people against invaders. Though Aurelian connection to author is unknown. Some scholars believe that elements. It was Aurelian of his time. Yes, so it is Aurelian is being referred to from the same time when King Arthur was present. Could have been woven into later tales of Arthurian cycles, whatever it is. Definite, proven, undeniable. See, definite, there is no clarity. Proven, there is no clarity. So, undeniable and speculative. Between undeniable and speculative, they are just figuring out how it was. So, they're not giving any conclusion, any concrete answer. So, therefore, I would choose speculative because it's still whether yes, whether no, we don't know. Okay. Okay. Whether or not Aurelian directly inspired the stories of King Arthur, his legacy as a poet and historian of the time remains shrouded in understanding the origins of these enduring myths. No, it's not unimportant, it's not inconsequential, it's not even small. Trivial is small, so it's influential. It's a major factor. Let's see, obscurity, lacking, battles, speculative, influential. Although it was a long passage, but in comparison to the previous one, I was little sure about the answers because half of the answers were very easy to rule out. Alright, thank God, a smaller one. When humans, oh, by the way, this is the last question, huh? When humans began farming some 12,000 years ago, they altered the future of our something forever. So, how does farming affect us? Society, no. 12,000 years ago, there was no society. Class, no. Class came even after society. Community, no. So, the only answer that is species, Homo, whatever it is, Homo erectus or something. Our ancestors were ecological something, discovering and cultivating the. Okay, so we're off to discovering and cultivation, scaling, feed entire communities, transform crops so fundamentally that they became on human. Oh, sorry, why am I fumbling? Became dependent on humans for survival. Huh? Oh, okay. I thought they were going to eat them. Innovator, no. I think it is not the right term to be. Founders find companies, not farming. That to 12,000 years ago. I don't think concept of leaders because leader is like it would have been more relevant when it would have been about your battles and something, right? Founders, no. So pioneer, right? The one who discovered fire is also known as pioneer. He's not an inventor or an innovator. Farming the innovator would also be something na, that he finds completely new. A discoverer is not an innovator. Farming, in the words of National Geographic's Genographic project, sowed the seeds for the modern what times? It's time. No. If it would have been times, then it would have been correct. Generation. No, see, it's not just our generation, not the Gen Zs, not the millennials, but every generation to come forward. So modern generation does not fit, modern time does not fit. Span is like covering of the time. So modern day and age, modern culture, modern society. Species, pioneers, age. All right. As you can see, we've covered almost exactly. I may be wrong here. 6 questions, right? What I want to say here, to all of you is, first of all, please understand that this is not a grammar based question. This is purely a vocabulary based question. If you don't understand the context of the whole sentence and the meaning of the words, you will never be able to do that. Even if you grasp all the grammar rules, trust me, you already know them, right? And once you know the concepts, you don't need to really remember them. So my suggestion is, you should be doing 7 to 8 questions of these every day, right? And whenever you get lost, you cannot really understand what is why is this answer the answer. So you can also refer to chat gpt. If you tell me that you really want to know how to use chat gpt for analysis of your reading fill in the blanks, let me know. I can make a video. I'm going to come live every day at around this time. First thing. Second, the new and updated PTE score distribution sheet, the one that I have created and the one that has been issued by Pearson, will also be linked in the description, as well as my whole guidebook to the PTE Academic will also be linked. Right? If you have any questions, you can comment down in the video. If you were a part of the live, to be honest, I don't know because I don't have the live comments or anything open. So you can go ahead and comment there or in the video or contact me via Instagram. The link will be in the description, right? I'll meet you tomorrow. If you want me to make any particular video related to IELTS or PT, or if you want to make me do anything, just shower your blessings in the comment. If you liked it, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Thank you and bye bye.